Have you ever wondered what's really going on when a bowling ball just annihilates a set of pins? Or how a rocket pushes itself into space? Well, it's not just about speed, and it's not just about how heavy something is. It's something deeper, a fundamental secret of motion itself. Today, we're diving into that secret, momentum.
So, let's start with a bit of a riddle. What on earth could a huge, slow-moving truck and a teeny-tiny speeding bullet possibly have in common? I mean, they seem like complete opposites, right? But in the world of physics, they actually share this incredibly powerful and, potentially destructive quality. Stick around, the answer's coming right up.
All right, so what is this secret ingredient we're talking about? Well, physicists call it momentum, but honestly, you can just think of it as an object's oomph, or maybe its unstoppability. It's the official, scientific way of measuring how much stuff is in motion, and more importantly, how hard it is to bring that motion to a stop.
And the core idea here, it's actually super simple. Momentum, which we write down with the letter P, is just an object's mass multiplied by its velocity. That's it. So if you have more mass or you have more velocity, you're going to have more momentum. And that's the answer to our little puzzle. Both the heavy, slow truck and the light, super fast bullet can have a massive amount of oomph.
To put a real number on it, just picture an average car, maybe around 1,200 kilograms. Now, if that car is moving at 20 meters per second, that's roughly 45 miles an hour, its momentum is a whopping 24,000 kilogram meters per second. That single number perfectly captures the car's entire state of motion in that moment.
Okay, so if an object has momentum, how do you change it? How do you stop it? Or for that matter, how do you get it going in the first place? Well, the answer is a concept called impulse. And believe me, understanding this has some very real, very practical consequences.
Impulse is really just a fancy word for a change in momentum. And the way you create that change is by applying a force over a certain amount of time. The formula says it all. Force multiplied by time. This simple little relationship, it's the key to understanding everything from hitting a home run to, believe it or not, surviving a car crash.
So, if we want to stop that speeding car we were talking about, we've basically got two ways to do it. Option 1, apply a massive, sudden force. Like hitting a brick wall. The car's momentum changes pretty much instantly.
Or you could do it differently. You could apply a much, much smaller force over a much longer period of time. Think about gently pressing the brakes and coasting to a stop. Now here's the kicker. The total change in momentum, the impulse, is exactly the same in both scenarios. But the force you actually experience, drastically different. And that difference is everything.
And this whole idea brings us to something even bigger. You see, it turns out that momentum isn't just something that objects have, it's something the universe itself keeps careful track of. There's a fundamental law that governs all of it, a truly unbreakable rule for every single interaction.
This is the law of conservation of momentum, and what it means is that in any collision, any explosion, as long as no outside forces are messing with it, momentum is never, ever created or destroyed. It's just transferred from one object to another. The total amount of oomph in the system always, and I mean always, stays the same.
Now, this unbreakable rule is what makes physics so powerful. It means we can actually predict what's going to happen after a collision or an explosion just by knowing what was going on right before it happened. Let's put it to the test with a couple of examples.
So, check this out. It's a perfect illustration. Before the collision, all the momentum is in that first moving trolley. But after they smack into each other and stick together, that exact same amount of momentum is now being shared across their new combined mass. And because the total mass is bigger now, the velocity has to go down to keep the total momentum constant. It's like a perfect little math problem.
And get this, the rule works in reverse too. Think about an explosion. Before it goes off, a stationary bomb has zero momentum. It's just sitting there. When it blows up, pieces fly off in every direction. But, and this is the cool part, if you could add up the momentum of every single one of those flying pieces, remembering that momentum has a direction, the grand total would still be zero. Perfectly balanced.
Now, physicists like to categorize collisions into a few different types. The key thing to remember is that in all of them, momentum is always conserved. That rule is unbreakable. But another thing, kinetic energy, the energy of motion, isn't always. In most real-world collisions, some of that energy gets lost as heat or sound. That trolley example we just saw was what we call perfectly inelastic, because they stuck together, and that's when you lose the most kinetic energy.
Okay, so we've got momentum, we've got impulse, and we've got this unbreakable law of conservation.
Let's see how it all comes together in the real world. Because this isn't just theory for a textbook. This is the physics that engineers use every single day to save lives. Think about it. Airbags, seatbelts, those crumple zones built into the front of your car. Heck, even the simple act of pulling your hands back when you catch a fast-moving baseball. All of these things are designed around that one single principle we just talked about: impulse.
And here is the absolute most important point. In a car crash, your momentum has to go from really high down to zero fast. That change in momentum, that impulse, is a fixed amount. You can't change it. But remember the formula. Impulse equals force times time. So by making the time of the collision just a little bit longer, all of these safety devices can dramatically reduce the force that your body has to deal with.
And the difference in that force is it's dramatic. A hard stop against a steering wheel or a dashboard creates this huge, incredibly dangerous spike of force. But an airbag, it squishes. It collapses over a fraction of a second, spreading that very same impulse out over a longer time. The result is a much smaller and much more survivable force.
I mean, the numbers here are staggering. A stop that's cushioned over a fraction of a second, like with an airbag, results in a force that you can handle. But if that same exact stop happens almost instantly, the force can be dozens of times greater. And that is literally the difference between walking away from an accident and a catastrophic injury.
And that really is the key takeaway from all of this. Physics gives us the playbook for understanding how the world works. And by understanding a simple concept like impulse, we can engineer solutions that control these incredibly dangerous forces. We can turn what would be a deadly impact into a survivable event.
So, the next time you see a car slam on its brakes, or watch a game of pool, or even just toss a ball up in the air, you'll know the deep physics that's at play. It's not just motion, it's momentum. So now that you're in on the secret, where are you going to see it in action today?